Tesla has brought some price cuts to every single vehicle you see on the screen here. In fact, the Model Y is the only vehicle that did not receive a price cut, which I think we can speculate on what it means for demand. But at the same time, from a consumer standpoint, if you're in the market, or if you're thinking about buying one, it's all good news because Dream Car becomes much cheaper, and I think that will help justify a lot of people who are mad about full self-driving going up $1,000 if all the cars are going down by $2,000 or more. So that's right, even the cheapest Standard Range Plus Model 3 got a price reduction, now starting at $38,000 down from $40,000. And no, the $35,000 off menu, just regular Standard Range Model 3 is still available. That hasn't changed, and the price of that has not changed. So I guess you could say not every single Tesla went down in price, but I will mention that now with that new entry price for Standard Range Plus, if you plan on buying Autopilot at someday, if you're going with a $35K Model 3, it's basically pointless now, because if you buy the $3,000 Autopilot add-on with the $35K Model 3, it becomes $38,000. So it will have a software limited range compared to the Standard Range Plus and cost the same amount. So basically, the only people who should be buying the off-menu $35K Model 3 now are people who don't care about Autopilot and never plan on buying it. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck with worse range and you wouldn't have even saved any money at the end of the day. So this basically means Standard Range Plus is more worth it now for sure. And the good news is long range and performance versions of the Model 3 also saw a $2,000 price reduction. So even for those of you who weren't interested in standard range, the price has gone down now. Model S and X got even bigger price cuts, which makes sense as they're higher priced vehicles. So now the Model S long range version, the longest range of any electric vehicle on the market today, now starts at $75,000 where it used to start at $80,000. So a whole $5K was cut off, and they also cut off a whole $5,000 on the performance model as well, now starting at $95,000 instead of $100, and pretty much expect the exact same thing with the Model X as well. So now the long-range Model X starts at $80,000 instead of $85,000, and the performance Model X starts at $100,000 instead of $105,000. So this is the Raven upgrade, not the Plaid powertrain yet, but if there's some of you Model S and X owners out there feeling a bit gypped or a bit ripped off that, hey, you spent all this money on the Raven vehicle and now they're going ahead and knocking $5,000 off the price, don't be too insulted yet, because it was easy to miss this one. But after this price cut they just received, they have removed the free unlimited supercharging with the Model S and X. So before, if you bought the Raven upgrade, you know, the most recent refresh of the Model S and X, you got free unlimited supercharging for the life of the car, which is pretty awesome. And now, yes, they're $5,000 cheaper than what they were, but you don't get to charge unlimited. You're gonna have to pay for supercharging, just like Model 3 owners, which in my opinion kind of sucks. That kind of takes out the sweetness of that deal in the first place, and probably means a lot less people are gonna feel inclined to get Model S and X, even if it is $5,000 cheaper. I don't know if all of these price reductions are really going to sway anyone. Are they gonna change anyone's mind? Like, well, I was gonna buy a Model S, but I think it's just a few grand too expensive. Oh, they made it $5,000 cheaper? Yep, I'm sold. I'm buying it now. I feel like the people who were in the market were probably still in the market now, and the people who weren't interested are probably still not interested. But a lot of people are speculating online what this price cut means. Could this be some type of new battery implementation that's taking place right now, and because they're able to cut some costs, maybe in the manufacturing line, they're now reflecting that to the end consumer? Or due to the pandemic, has demand taken a hit, and to increase demand, they've decided to lower the prices, hopefully permanently. I'm really worried that this is going to be another temporary price cut, which has happened in the past. I covered the Tesla price changes all throughout 2019, and it used to get so exciting when it was like, hey, cool, it starts at $35K, and then a couple weeks later they change it. They're like, you know what, now it starts at $37K. Then a few months go by and they're like, okay, now it starts at $40K. I don't like it when they get our hopes up like this. So I'm hoping these price cuts can remain permanent, if not, you know, even go lower. That would be best. But there's absolutely an argument to be made that there's probably a lot of people that were thinking about getting an electric vehicle, but because of their work situation or because of the financial position a lot of people are in, they've decided to push that off or wait till later. So Tesla offering these price cuts kind of incentivizes people to give it a second chance, give it a look over and think, okay, this is a bit cheaper than what I was thinking before, and maybe get some people to reconsider about buying one. So I'm sure demand might play into effect, but at the same time, I also have to wonder, with production ramping so fast over at Giga Shanghai and the operating costs being so low in China, maybe there's such a huge profit margin over there and so many people are buying those vehicles and the factory is scaling production that they said, hey, we don't need as much of a profit margin on our Fremont made vehicles anymore. So we're going to bring the cost down, because that's kind of the whole point of making all these different gigafactories is to make operating costs lower per country so that overall prices can be lower. So maybe this is just a reflection of that because things are going so well in China, or maybe Tesla's making enough money off of selling EV credits to other auto companies that they decided we can just lower the price of our vehicles so that people can afford them easier, and since our financials are looking okay, we'll be all right. But obviously, we'll know more about that after the Q2 earnings call, which is a couple months away now. But either way, from a consumer standpoint, good news because your dream cars just got cheaper, and we just made the competition have to work a little bit harder now because $38,000 for an EV that goes 250 miles and has autopilot software included is a pretty insanely good deal in its own right. So that makes me consider it a whole lot more personally, and I'm curious what you guys think of these price drops. What do you think motivated them? What do you think is the cause of them? Is it good news? Is it bad news? I think it's a little bit of both, but feel free to hit me up over on Twitter and join my Discord, and we can chat more about it there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.